Okay. How is this? Let me know how this works. Is this working okay? A little bit? Yeah, there's going to be a little lag, but I'm not like repeating myself like over and over again on audio, right? Okay, that's good. As long as that's okay, then that's fine. I want to be sure that everybody at least is not like fudged up or whatever. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Okay, I do apologize for the delay here. I didn't expect to have video problems when it was working the other day. So I have to figure that out, of course, to make it work. But now's not the time. All right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. So, okay, let's get started today. Welcome back to Monday. All right, hopefully you have a nice weekend. So today, we are going to be talking about the last couple of sections here in Chapter 3. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing here today. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to be working with here in Chapter 3. So we're going to start at Section 3.6 and do the last section here of Section 3.7 as well. We may spend a little bit of extra time on 3.7 just to do what we need to do, just depending on, what we get done. And that is the goal. That is the story. All right, so let's go ahead and do it right now. All right, so let me get, let's get this stuff up here. So I'm going to be on page 176 in the book, just to let you know. Okay, let's grab this. All right, it's right here. Okay. All right. Lol. I can't do much about that, yo. Yeah, just if you follow, you can follow. That'd be. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna have you guys pay money, so money's not required from me. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. Yeah. Figure you'd be like, yes, yes it does. Yes it does. Okay, so this is what we're going to be going over here today. So as you can see up here, we're going to talk about negations. We'll talk about also De Morgan's laws. And this is more along the lines of negations of conditional statements. All right. So we've talked about if-then, all right? We've talked about how that pretty much works out. It's really not too hard to figure out how if-then, kind of is. And we're going to be using we're going to be using that here in this case in regards to the truth tables, because we want to be able to negate those conditional statements, but we need to see what's equivalent to a conditional statement here. So what I have up here on this Word document here is I have two statements here. I have the truth table here for P and Q, and then I have this one here, which is if P, then Q, okay? So if P, then Q. And then the others here, not P and not P or Q. Now, we're going to do these truth tables out here. So again, just give yourself a little bit of a reminder of what we did last time, okay? So a little bit of a reminder of what we did last time. If you need to refer back to the tables, that's okay. We're going to, again, review this here at the very start because I want to be sure that you guys are in the right mindset as we move forward to doing more of these types of truth tables. So let's start off with the first one here. All right, so we have if true, then true. So go ahead and put in the chat either true or false. If true, then true. What's that going to be? All right, so the answer to that is going to be, do I have caps lock on? No. Okay, so the answer to that is going to be true. All right, good. All right, let's try the next one here. So if true, then false. If true, then false. All right, so if true, then false is indeed false. Okay, that is correct. All right, so if false, then true. If false, then true. So false then true is indeed true. That's correct. Lastly, if false, then false. So that is true with the double R. That is correct. Nice. Okay. If false with false is going to be true, because again, it'll only be false if you assume something is true, but then your expectation turns out to be false. However, your expectation's false, then it could be whatever it wants. That's why this will be true. All right. Okay. No problem, no problem. Okay, so what we want to see here is I put in not P or Q, all right? So what I want to talk about here specifically is I want to talk about if we get the same truth table here, all right, for not P or Q, all right? That's what we want to do here. All right, so if we get the same truth table, we should be okay, all right? Then these two things are equivalent. If we don't, then these are not equivalent. Now let's go ahead and check to see if not P or Q is equivalent to if P, then not Q. All right, I'm going to try a little better next time. All right, so we're going to put in not P here, which is false and false and true and true. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so that table there, not so hard. Now we're going to take the OR statement here. So we're taking the OR statement here. So we say not P or Q. So again, we're taking this column here of not P and this second column here of or Q. So let's go through this. Let's go through this carefully here. We say false or true, and that definitely, yep, that is true. Okay, I agree. All right, false or false. So false or false. About false or false, what's that going to be? Yeah, that's right. So false or false is definitely false. That is correct. All right, let's check the next one. We have true or true. So true or true. What's that going to be? True or true? All right, true or true is true. Good. Lastly, we have true or false. So true or false. That's true. Very nice, Sam. That's correct. Fernando, good job. Sam, good job. All right. Excellent work. Okay, so let's compare the two truth tables, all right? So here we have the first truth table of if P, then Q. Notice we have true, false, true, true. Here we have not P or Q. We have true, false, true, true. Okay, so they both have the same exact truth tables. So this is going to lead up to a very important note. Okay, so let's talk about what the key is here. The key here in this case is going to be, there's going to be a couple keys, I'm going to just point that out. But the first key here is that if P then Q, if P then Q is equivalent to not P or Q. Okay, so this is the first key we're going to talk about here. Now you'll see why this is going to be a big deal here in just a second, but we're going to need to add one more piece to the, need a couple more pieces to the puzzle here in order to kind of understand why this fact a little bit here is very important. So the idea about what we want to do here in this section is, since we're talking about negation of a lot of different types of statements, you know, sometimes putting it into a more basic form is going to be the better idea. Now you're probably saying, well, what's the basic form here? What exactly are we talking about when we talk about, say, the basic form? Okay, so let's talk about the second key here, key number 2, which will help us understand what this basic form means. So essentially at the end of the day, we want to see if we can put it down to like ands and ors. All right, we may have, say, if it, if then, or if and only if, or whatever. But at the end of the day, one of the things that we have to understand is that ands and ors are going to play a big factor here. Now you're probably saying, well, what exactly do we do with that? Well, let's go ahead and take a look here. So if we negate, let's say we negate an and here, and I'm going to show an example that goes with this, but just to kind of showcase here. If we negate an and here, that suddenly turns into putting an or here instead. Okay, so negating and, so the opposite of and is or. So not or would be equal, not or would be equal to and. So we'll just put or here. Okay, so that's basically how that goes. And then key number 3 here, and you'll see exactly, actually, let me do the example here first because I said I would. So the example that I want to show off here would be, say, if we have, say, not P and Q, So let's say we have not P and Q. If we want to make an equivalent statement to that specifically, that's going to be specifically distributing the not to both things. So we have not P, but then we swap the and with the or not Q. Okay, so this is one of those rules that we certainly have to follow here in this case. All right, so just to point that out there, be like, all right, where do I get that stuff from? Be like, okay, here it is, bam. All right. So let's make a little note here. Note, you are distributing the not. Okay. All right. So much like if you put a negative on the outside, you have switch plus to minus or minus to plus. That's essentially what you're doing here. Okay, so from negative to positive or positive to negative, when you take, say, the negative of that whole mathematical statement or whatever, you're doing nothing different here in this particular circumstance. Okay, are there any questions about that so far? We're just building up one more key here, and then you'll see where that first key I put is going to be rather important. So, any questions? Yes. So you saw that I put a not out here, and that's a good question. You put a not out here, so yeah, I had to flip the sign of P, and I had to flip the sign of Q, as well as change the and to an or. That's correct. So much the same way you would in a regular problem for math. You would be like, okay, if you had, let's say in regular problem for math here, really quick, let's just get the paint tool up here. If you did like minus negative 3x minus plus 2, well then you'd flip that sign for each one here. Yeah, you're welcome to join, Ben. No problem, my dude. So here you get 3x and you get a minus 2, right? Because you flip this minus, that becomes a plus, right? And then this plus becomes a minus, right? Same deal, Fernando. And then this would be your final answer for the problem. So you're not doing anything different. You're just representing it in a different way, unlike you're normally used to. So that's basically what you're doing. Any other questions about that? Or any other questions in general? You guys can ask whatever. So it's all good. Why is the mic all static? Yeah, I'm still kind of working with mic issues today. Sorry, maid. My apologies today. Been having a little bit of an issue just getting the camera to work today for whatever reason. So maybe that's interfering with the mic and staticky. I just was drinking some water too, so maybe that was it. I have to figure out the camera issues going on here, but I'll have to say that for another time. So apologies to those who came in and be like, I don't see your face. And be like, sorry, my apologies. My apologies so much. I know, my face is so beautiful. Okay, I get it. Is this YouTube vid, my vid? You can't post links in the chat there. I kind of prevented that. I tell you what, I'll make you a mod and then I'll take a look at your video there, mascot. So, it may be my video. I have no idea. The heck if I know. Let's see here. Okay, let me mod you here. There you go. Go ahead and post the link in the chat, and then I'll unmod you. That's weird. Okay. All right. In any case, are there any questions about not here? Guess not. Oh well. I guess I will unmod you. Okay, there you go. You've been unmodded. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on here. Let's talk about the main point here. Let's talk about key number 3 here. So key number 3 here is going to come down to what happens if you not an or. So as we just talked about here, not an or is just equal to just and, okay? That's all it's equal to. So basically at the end of the day, again, let's take a look at our example here. So it works just the same way we had. So if we have not P or Q, then essentially we change all the signs around and we get not P and not Q. Okay, so we get not P and not Q after changing all the signs around once we put not there in the front. Okay, so if we have that, now take a look at what we have here. We have two keys here, okay? So we have, again, we know that if we swap out, we take the negation of and, we get or. We take the negation of or, we get and. And if you take a look at the first one there, we say if P then Q is equivalent to not P or Q. Okay, now, let's think of it this way, okay? Let's look at key number 4 here and see if you guys can pick up where we're going with this. Hopefully you have already. It's not too bad, but we're going to say we're going to go with this. So let's say we're taking the not of if P then Q. All right, so we want to say, we want to look at that. Now, can anybody tell me here, what would that equal? What would that be equivalent to? Would be the negation of that conditional based on what we have up here. All right, good try, Fernando, but it's not if and only if. remember what we have there on the key. So look at the first key there and see if you can rewrite that problem one more time before you negate it. That's your hint. The hint is to rewrite the negation into one more thing, and then you can negate it. Not P and not Q. That's really close, Fernando. Really, really close. Really, really close. So you're definitely on the right track here. So definitely on the right track. I know, you're very close. Don't worry. It's all about just putting the pieces together. So this is not P or Q. Okay? And I got that because if P then Q is equal to this, then what we had from up above. Well, let's think about it this way, right? What's not P? What's not P? If we take two negatives, we get a what? Yeah, we get a positive, right? So two negatives make, two nots make a plus, or make a just negate each other. So here we just get P and not Q. That's correct. So if we negate a conditional statement, because of our key up here at the top, we can rewrite that conditional statement into something equivalent. And then when we negate it, we can use the other two keys to help ourselves out and get to this last part here, which says P and not Q. Now, one of the things the book does not do very well is tell you this first key here. It actually really doesn't kind of state it out right. So the reason why I wanted to focus on this specifically is because of the fact that this actually holds a very important message about how we take care of negations. Like, well, you don't know where the basics are coming from, so let's build it up from scratch, and let's see exactly how we can actually justify, that equivalency at the end of the day. And that gets to be very important. So, because they just kind of like state it in the book, and then there's like nothing. And you're like, okay, what's going on? So, I'm just saying that was a thing there. So, let's take a good look here at the book here once again. Okay, oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so you can see down here at the very bottom of this page, notice it says the negation can be expressed as, again, this is where they get this justification from. They just kind of state it to you, but they don't tell you how they got that. And that's what I wanted to kind of show you here is like, oh, well, how does that even happen? Like, how do you even know it's equal to the purpose? And we actually use more of that first key than we do this second key because of the fact of what it's equal to at the end of the day. Okay. Now, this does have some consequences to go along with it, so let's talk about those. All right. So we can see here also other things that can be equivalent here. We see that if P then Q is also equivalent to the contrapositive if we do an if-then statement here. We say if not Q, then not P. So we talked about this last time talking about the contrapositive, and that happens to be true here as well. So if we go back to our notes here, let's put a note here. So note if P then Q, specifically here. Is equivalent to the contrapositive if not Q, then P, then not P. So this will also produce the same truth table. Again, you can check that out the same way we did in the very beginning here with this truth table. You'll see that it works out again. Okay. Uh-oh. Hello? Wait, what's going on? Okay. Okay. Something's going on. I'm not sure what it is. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Uh-oh. That can't be good. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do that before everything goes to heck. Sorry, guys. Looks like I have some issues here that are way out of my control. Let's try again.